How's it? Today's Saturday, April 15th. I am front squatting, deadlifting, and benching today. It is officially 1 week out from the meet. This is probably my last heavy anything day. Aside from openers, depending on how you want to view my openers, they might be heavy, depending on how it looked like yesterday. One thing I actually don't think I mentioned yesterday was my upper back. The problem that I was feeling on Monday for catching the cleans was not present yesterday. So that's a positive for me. As far as it goes today, it didn't really impact my front squats either. Feels pretty good on my upper back, to be honest. I tried that strap up on the front squat for my warm ups, that little hack for the keeping the upper back tight and strong. I don't know if I like it, but I tried it. It is what it is. I went up to 150 today for my front squat single. So that's kind of what I was doing. One set of one, and then 15 to 20% down for three threes. You see here, I actually failed this rep at 150. Yeah, I just didn't have any drive there. I felt like I was behind the bar once I started pushing out of the hole. So I took the little hip circle off of my knees and I reattempted it with better loading. And I did get stuck there, but I was able to push through, and that was pretty hard. It was This is the weight that I was unable to do on Monday, and last Saturday I actually also squatted 150, which is probably the most I've front squatted in 7 or 8 months. After that, for again down sets were 15 to 20% down, so I decided to do 20% down just because lots of things have been kind of falling apart lately, right? My hip, my upper back, some of my knees starting to feel kind of weird. Just a little bit of my shoulders starting to feel a little bit weird too. So I just tried to be conservative, but still give myself proper work. And I understand I don't. It's probably too late to accumulate strength, right? For as far as work goes, but I do think the volume, or I guess those little downsets, is helpful for maintaining confidence and strength and speed and positions because, you know, 120 for triples. I'm gonna be cleaning 120. I might end up opening at 120. I don't know. My goal is to open 100 and then 130, but if it's not feeling great, then 120 is definitely still in question or in consideration. But yeah, after those front squats, I moved into my sumo deadlifts. Similar setup. Work up to a set of one. Work down sets for 15 to 20% down for three threes. Today I actually did something pretty cool. I PR'd on my sumo deadlift single. Actually did it. I did two PRs, not on the deadlift, but yeah. After this 160, you see how this kind of moves. It moves pretty well. Positioning is pretty good. My back it felt good, and I asked Keith to give me a recommendation on whether or not I should move up to 190 and then go 200 or what. And then he was like, yeah, go 185 and then go 200. So this is 185, and then 200 is my PR. This is 440, 440 pounds. Yeah. It didn't look super great, but speed was there. Brian, um, Keith, Doug, and Ian were all there just pushing me, but I really, really appreciate it. I'm not a power lifter, so these are kind of whatever at this point. But for me, 185, that last warm up was this set or the weight that I did five at a few weeks ago, which is a PR. It's like 407 pounds. And then 200 is a 10 kilo PR for a single. I did 190 in 2021 November when I was at home lifting at Valley Isle Fitness. So that was cool to be able to just PR in anything. I always say this, but my lifting career doesn't give me many opportunities to hit personal records like lifetime bests. So it's fun to finally get one of these. 20% down from 200 is 160, so that's what this is. Try to do touch and goes here just because I think they are easier and more challenging in certain aspects. I think maintaining tightness if that's the goal, I think it is harder. It is more challenging, and it makes it so that I'm forced to have better tightness. But for speed and all these things, it might be a little bit easier because I get a little bit of help off of the bounce. After that, I moved into bench press here. And I don't know if you recall, I mentioned I had two PRs today. One was the 200 deadlift, and the second was actually a 275 bench press. I I want to preface this by saying this bench press is not pretty by any means. My hips are flying off of the bench, and I wouldn't necessarily count it as a solid bench press, but it is 275, and that's a pretty big milestone. I think at some point I'll be able to bench 275 like well, probably touch and go with my hips on the bench. I don't think that that's going to be happening anytime soon, but I do see it in my future, and I do see that that is a very real possibility. I think one thing that was kind of troubling me today was my adductors, my hips. When I was doing my best to arch my back and whatnot, it was hurting. Similar thing to what was happening last week. So I ended up actually not doing my down sets. I was supposed to do a set of one and then same thing as earlier, 15 to 20% down for three threes. But at this point, is it worth it? Short answer is no. It is not worth it. Long answer is if I wanted to continue working on my bench press, then I would probably have to bring my feet in a little bit closer and not push so hard through my toes to get the arch like this, because I don't know if you can see this position, like that hurts my adductors here, and I don't want to risk anything moving forward. Um, Here is my top set at 275 here. Watch how high my hips go, and I also almost go back down at some point. Watch this, right there. You see that? Ooh, ooh, pretty close. Thanks Brian for that, for the push. I also I'm a little bit worried about my finger. I don't know what I did to it last night. It's probably something at work, but it feels like I can't. It feels like I sprained one of the ligaments in my finger, and it really hurts when I try to close it. I don't know if it's gonna impede my grip moving forward. I really hope not. I hope it's gonna be fine tomorrow at work. I have a long, long day at work tomorrow, so I really, really hope that it is okay by Monday, because Mondays are gonna be my last day to do openers, ideally. So yeah, I mean, I'm very, very excited for this week. I'm 165 flat this morning, so I got a ways to go. But that's it for today. Thank you for watching. Shoots.